Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News here on MTV Sports. You're here with me, Natasha Disanaika. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Family health officials continue protest. The country's health sector is commended by the world. A statement from the Minister of Health. Further threat of lightning-related accidents. The Indian election enters its third phase. Mahela hands in his official letter of resignation from T20 cricket. Moving on to your stories in detail now. Activities at child and maternity clinics across the island have been halted due to the strike action commenced by the Government Family Health Services Union. Now, when inquired, Chairman of the Government Nursing Officers Union, Saman Ratnapriya, said that the silence from the Ministry of Health paves the way for the strike action to continue.
Chairperson of the Government Family Health Services Union, Devika Kurituwaku, said that the strike action will continue until a solution is provided to the problem at hand. The strike action undertaken by the Government Family Health Services Union has entered its ninth day. So far, no steps have been taken to stop the trade union action. With the end of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year, the Central Committee of the Union has decided to commence a fast unto death. We will not stop the strike action by any means. We regret that officers of the Ministry of Health has not taken any steps to solve this problem, and we request them to intervene and provide a solution.
Now, our attempts to contact the officials of the Health Ministry proved futile to get a reaction on the strike action. Minister of Health Maithripala Sirisena says that the country's health sector is commended by the world. He made this statement at an event held at the Ratnapura Base Hospital. The event was held to declare open the newly constructed two-story hospital ward complex at the Ratnapura Base Hospital.
This long-term investment is made with the objective of creating a healthy society. When speaking of the free health sector of our country, we as a country has gained a lot of respect from the international community. The reason for this, the country provides a free health service to its citizens. We have to extend our heartfelt gratitude for the quality service rendered by the doctors, medical officers and hospital staff.
Moving on, area residents in the Kalapitiya village in Kotmale staged a protest. The protesters demand that a justifiable compensation be provided for their lands which were taken over by the government to construct a high-voltage electricity line under the Upper Kotmale project.
The protesters convened at the Kalpitiya roundabout in Kotmale yesterday and walked to the Batahira village. Several villages in the area attended the protest march. The demonstrators demanded that a justifiable compensation be paid for their lands.
The high power voltage line is just 30 meters from my house. Therefore, power is being disrupted sporadically. When they were constructing the power lines, they were building it in close proximity to my house. They told me to relocate my residence elsewhere, and so I did. They told me they will give me a compensation, but they have not given me anything, and now I have no place to live.
Later, the Assistant Secretariat of Kotmale and a parliamentarian from the government arrived at the location and promised the protesters a meeting with the Minister of Power and Energy. The protesters subsequently dispersed.
Coming up later on in the news, 16-year-old Alex Hirbal is identified by authorities as a student who allegedly went on a stabbing rampage in a Pennsylvania high school that left at least 22 people wounded. Nimal Lanza, who contested under the UPFA ticket and received the second highest number of preferential votes from the Gampaha district in the recently held Western and Southern Provincial Council polls, assumed duties as a provincial minister in Rangmagapaya, Battaramulla.
A group of ministers, including the Chief Minister of the Western Province, were present at the event. Nimal Lanza assumed duties at the Rangmagapaya Provincial Office this morning as the Western Provincial Minister for Transport, Sports and Youth Affairs, Women's Affairs, Food Supply and Distribution, Cooperative Development, Fisheries, Rural Development, Tourism, Investment Promotion, Animal Products and Development.
I intend to support the people in Sri Lanka, especially the people in the Gampaha district. I also wish to state that I will work towards fulfilling the dream of His Excellency the President, which is to make this country the miracle of Asia.
Now, around the world in 40 days, a 40-day goodwill tour across the globe is jointly organized by Newsfirst and Sri Lanka Youth ahead of the 2014 World Conference on Youth. We now have Ramesh Irugal joining us from Sydney.
Around the world in 40 days.
A very good afternoon. We are once again joining you from Sydney, Australia, where we just concluded a very interactive discussion on the World Conference of Youth 2014, which will be hosted by Sri Lanka next month. Now, this discussion took place at the Consul General's office located in Sydney, Australia. Most of the topics that we discussed were about empowering the youth and the importance of youth participation in policy making, as well as the importance of youth interacting between countries in order to solve global issues. Now, speaking to us, the Consul General, Ambassador Nandana Jayasekar, also noted that this discussion was very fruitful and that it helped create a lot of awareness among the Australian community on the World Conference on Youth 2014 that will commence on the 6th of May. We invited members of the Australian Youth Federations to participate in the World Conference on Youth as observers as well. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Irugal with the Asad Kamasari from Sydney, Australia.
A mother and her son were killed in an accident that took place in the Madatugama area in Kakirawa this morning. The police stated that the accident was a result of a collision involving a motorcycle and a lorry.
The mother was reportedly 48 years of age, while her son was 21 years old and were residents of Kakirawa. They were travelling on the motorbike at the time of the incident. The police added that the victims were on their way home from the hospital. The driver of the lorry has been taken into police custody. The bodies of the deceased are currently lying at the Dambulla hospital.
Moving on to your weather forecast now, the Met Department says that there may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. Thereby, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by lightning activities.
The possibility of rain over the island is low for the next few days. However, showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the western, southern, Sabaragamo, central and Uva provinces during the afternoon or evening. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the sea areas of the southern and western coast during the night. Winds will be westerly or variable and speed will be 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. There will be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. Generally, sea areas around the island will not be rough. However, the sea areas may be temporarily rough during thunder showers.
Newsfirst You reporter Roshan Kumar filed this report from Kantale.
The area residents in Igalapattua, Seruvela, had seen a crocodile in a home garden at around 10 am yesterday. The area residents later had informed this to the wildlife officials in Kantale. The officials had later arrived at the location and released the crocodile to the Somavati Reserve.
And that concludes our lunchtime news bulletin here on MTV Sports. Do stay tuned for live at 55 updates coming to you throughout the day. I'm Natasha Dasanayaka for News First.
Hotline 0114 896 896. www.newsfirst.lk